Paladins in all whites, the Citadel and the baby blues. Jump ball coming, and we're going to get this one underway. Paladins win the jump, and we're off to the races. Two of the top 3 scoring teams in the Southern Conference.
You see right away Furman looking to go inside to Jalen Slauson. Interested to see what they decide to do. Citadel on the defensive end as Conley Garrison knocks down his first. He's been terrific as of late, but whenever teams throw a double team over towards Jalen Slauson in the post, that's when he can be really good because he's such a gifted passer.
See the Bulldogs starting lineup. Garrison, from a percentage perspective, second best three-point shooter in the Southern Conference behind his teammate Joe Anderson. It's going to be interesting to see. You mentioned them missing Hayden Brown. What kind of adjustments are they going to make, not having the big guy inside to help him out?
Yeah, but they're going to have to match up defensively. Obviously, Slauson, not a whole lot of help coming from Citadel. As my man, Mike Bothwell, taking it strong to the rack. Nice left-handed finish and crossover. Not a whole lot of help side defense for the Citadel early. They're going to rely on one-to-one matchups. That's going to have to change pretty quickly if Furman continues to get that close to the bucket.
Yeah, and a nightmare start for the Bulldogs, right? You want to keep this one close. Although both teams can score buckets in a hurry, you don't want to get way down to this Paladin team. Bothwell, leading scorer for the Paladins last season, completes the natural three-point play, and Furman's got an early 6-point lead.
Right away, what you're going to see is Mike Bothwell picking up full court, maybe not to cause turnovers, but to slow the offense for the Citadel down. If they're able to make them play in lower possessions, it's going to benefit Furman because Furman has a size and athleticism advantage.
Neither one of these teams sees shot clock violations very often. Working inside to Moff. Shot clock down to 5, turnaround jumper, rattles in and out, no good. Paladins get the rebound.
Moff has been aggressive here early, obviously thinking, hey, I'm one of the older guys on this team. I have the chance to really step up in Hayden Brown's absence, but it's not going to matter if Mike Bothwell continues to get wherever he wants on the floor.
Bothwell averages 15.5 to lead the Paladins. Already has a quick 5. He likes his one-on-one matchup like you were talking about, T.O., on the offensive end of the floor.
Well, if he's able to get his shoulder on the defense, he is really tough to stop because he's so physically strong. And there's Marcus Foster, one of the most improved players on this Paladins team.
Take a look at Duger Baucom. You see his record in his 7th season with the Bulldogs. T.O., you were catching up with him a little bit before the game.
Yeah, a terrific person, first and foremost. Comes down from VMI. Had a health scare earlier this year when they were playing at Duke. He hit the floor. It goes back to the locker room. And they were wondering how he was going to be doing, Mark. Turns around. He comes back, goes to practice. And they said he got his first technical 2 games later, so they said everything's back to normal. It's no big deal. But an energy guy. Duger has been doing it for a long time. An excellent coach, an excellent guy in finding ways to play the military schools to his advantage.
Spent a long time at VMI, as you saw, before he became head coach of the Citadel. And the Paladins already with a double-digit lead, not even 2 minutes into this ballgame. Moff. Paladins being very aggressive on defense, and a quick three-pointer knocked down by Jason Roach.
And Roach, that's what you cannot do. If you're going to switch those screens, you better communicate properly, because if you try to go under on Roach, you can forget about it. He is excellent when he just has a little bit of space.
Foster with an athletic layup. And another quick bucket for the Paladins. Here comes the Citadel. This is what we were expecting to see, T.O. Up and down, quick action.
Job by Furman, staying disciplined on shot fakes, getting back, communicating, getting your man, and then now Furman can take off and run. A lot of times, Mark, teams that like to play fast on offense don't necessarily get back on the defensive end. Furman's benefiting because of it.
Foster misses the three-pointer. Furman rebounding well early. The Citadel's the second best rebounding team in the conference, so we'll see if it improves for them as the game goes on. Quick three-pointer missed, another rebound for the Paladins. Foster to Bothwell. Alex Hunter alone in the corner, knocks down the three-pointer. Paladins now lead by 11, and a quick timeout by Baucom.
And that's what can happen if you're Furman. You get defensive rebounds, you can kick out and go. They have so many guys, Mark, that can get a rebound and push out and transition. Alex Hunter's your point guard in theory, but he runs the wing, gets down to the corner. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the country.
They're scoring so quick. I said they had an 11-point lead. It's actually a 12-point lead right now. And that three-pointer by Alex Hunter, his 284th in his career. He is now only 4 behind Jordan Lyons to be the leading three-point shooter in the history of Furman University. Bob Ritchie doing such a spectacular job again this season, T.O.
Well, he does an excellent job of getting guys like Alex Hunter the right opportunities to hit open shots. You just stay within the flow of your offense. And I talked to Coach Ritchie. He says, hey, if a guy hits 1 or 2, I'm going back to him. It's simple as that. He said, Terrence, you would have scored a lot of points for me because I would have kept feeding the rock. I was like, hey, Coach, I didn't get hot as often as Alex Hunter has this year. He's been terrific. Has slowed down a little bit as of late. You see him guarding the ball, but still a terrific shooter from deep.
So we'll see if the timeout helps the Bulldogs on the offensive end or even the defensive end. This has been a nightmare start for the Citadel so far. Moff drives it into the lane, gets in trouble. Back outside to Roach. Shot clock down to 4. Fitzgibbons from the corner, off the backboard. Rebound by Bothwell. Quickly down the floor to Huey, misses the layup.
That's tough. Nice job, Huey, running the floor. You got to be able to convert, obviously. You're going to have those opportunities because Citadel will shoot it so quick, and sometimes they get a little bit top-heavy in their defense because everybody crashes the boards.
They did get a second look down on the offensive end for really the first time tonight on that possession. Couldn't knock down either three-pointer. Looks like Roach might have stepped on the line before he tried to save that, so it'll be Paladin basketball. We'll head to the break. It's been all Furman so far. Here with Terrence Oglesby. It's been all Paladin so far. T.O., what are some of your keys to the game tonight?
Well, you look at the game so far, 15-3, a good advantage, but if you're Furman, you can't stop and celebrate. There's not a whole lot of fist pumping. There's not a whole lot of dancing. You better get back on defense. Citadel, one of the fastest teams, not only in this conference, but in the country. They love to get out and run, not only in the half court, or not only off of misses, but off of makes as well. They like to get that ball out of the net, inbound it, and then they're shooting up the side, try to get quick shots.
You see one of your keys to the game there. Tempo, tempo, tempo for the Citadel. Hasn't been a problem so far, but getting the ball into the basket and preventing Furman from getting it into the basket has been a big problem so far. Alex Hunter, I'm telling you, T.O., he's got 2 3-pointers already. He's in search of that Furman record tonight.
It looks like it might, at this rate, it might happen before the first half is over, though, where they're shooting the ball. But you'll see Furman really tough defensively around the perimeter. They're trying to force the Citadel to get all the way to the rim because they feel like their athleticism is going to be able to give them enough problems. And so far, that's been exactly the case.
Another miss by Moff. Both teams going up for the rebound. Looks like that'll be Heen on the foul for Furman. And you see 1 of 6 from behind the arc, 1 of 10 from the field for the Citadel so far. Not what they were hoping to do to start this matchup.
Well, it's not just a guy guarding the ball. The players off the basketball defensively are helping. They're staying active, quick feet, doing a nice job of communicating and staying in contact, but they're also stunning towards the basketball. Look how active they are.
Roach has got a quick trigger. Fitzgibbons comes in backdoor, cleans it up for the layup. Some new faces into the ball game for the Paladins. Anderson gives it to a cutting Huey for an easy basket.
Number 22, Joe Anderson. Sure, he's the best percentage three-point shooter on this Furman team, but that's what he does best, getting downhill on pick-and-roll situations and finding open cutters. He's an excellent ball handler. He's got good quickness. Maryville, Tennessee native, has been much better as of late.
Citadel really struggling to get an uncontested shot off. There's another turnover. Paladin's out on the break. Garrison doesn't have any help, kicks it back outside to Anderson. The three-point shot knocks down the top three-point percentage shooter in the SoCon, adds to that.
Nice shot by him, but that play was made by Connolly Garrison, the 5th-year senior, the Division II transfer. He gets in the paint and he plants with 2 feet, doesn't force up a tough layup, makes sure the defense converges in on him. He's able to find a wide open Joe Anderson.
Bob Ritchie's got to be all smiles right now. Furman on pace for about 180 points in this one so far. Obviously not sustainable, and a big athletic play by the Bulldogs to get a bucket and a foul.
Well, if you see, they'll be #1 Clark going to the free throw line, but the ball stayed on one side of the floor for the entirety of the possession. Furman is making it difficult for it to go back and forth, but that is a strong move. You get the mismatch. Mr. Stephen Clark able to get the and-one opportunity. Charlotte, North Carolina native. He has some skill out on the perimeter. Might not be the biggest and strongest of guys, but he's able to negate some of his opponent's size with his ability to put it on the floor on the perimeter.
He leads the SoCon in blocks, had a double-double against Chattanooga last game. Anderson. Sloppy foul there by Roach against Lawson.
It's just a freshman mistake, especially if you know you're going to go underneath the ball screen. You have to be able to detach from your guy as Duger's doing his coaching on the sideline. Not only was he at VMI, was at Tusculum in the Division II ranks. One of the nicest guys in college basketball. I talked to Mike Morrell before this game, who's the head coach at UNC Asheville. He said, you know what, if you don't like Duger, there's something wrong with you. And I will say this, there's nothing wrong with Furman's offense right now. They are connecting on everything, getting whatever shot they want. 5 of 6 to start out this game.
Yeah, 9 of 12 from the field. Moff with a three-pointer, knocks it down for the Citadel.
Nice job, Moff. Transfer comes in, does some nice things for this Citadel team.
Foster takes it to the hole, draws a little bit of contact. Another athletic layup by him. He's got 7.
Thing to keep an eye on, Mark, too. Whenever Furman does score, their point guards don't retreat back. They're staying up so they can jam the ball, so they don't have to worry about Citadel getting down and pushing the basketball. So something to keep an eye on for the duration of this game.
Bothwell and Hunter sneaking back into the game. Anderson and Pegues back out. So Furman's got their starting 5 back on the floor. Jackson Price into the game for the Citadel. Oh, ball swatted away by Foster on the inbound attempt by Moff. We'll do it again.
Marcus Foster. It reminds me of a smaller version of Florida State's Matthew Cleveland. Florida State playing down the road here tonight at Clemson. Had the same body type, not quite as tall, not quite as bouncy, but the same build, the same level of strength. And defensively minded.
Bulldogs in need of some buckets before this one gets even more out of hand. Moff with a fall away. It's gone to that 3 or 4 times already tonight with no luck. Hunter quickly up the floor.
You know, Moff, the only open look that he's had all day was on that right 45, and he was able to knock it in, forcing the issue a little bit. Of course, Furman, they just make it so difficult because they're so active defensively. But Moff, whenever he's able to get cranking, he can be an explosive scorer.
It's Gibbons. Right in front of Coach Ritchie. Let's take it inside on Foster.
Wow, look at how Furman swarms to the basketball. Active hands. Guys are communicating defensively, getting out in the passing lanes. He's creating so many opportunities. Jalen Slauson, that's 2 for 2 for that young man. We talked about he does all the other things, Mark. Whenever he's able to knock down threes, watch out because that lane opens wide open for the Paladins.
Yeah, he leads the Paladins in rebounds, blocks, assists, and field goal percentage. And more problems for the Citadel. It has been all Paladins, an explosive start here at Timmons Arena.
And Jalen Slauson, he can trail in and knock down a 3 or 2 as well. Furman up big.
So the Citadel is already down 20, less than 8.5 minutes into this game. T.O., technically, it's not over. They've got some massive comebacks already this year.
Well, when you play at that pace, Mark, you're able to get back into games rather quickly, especially if you're able to catch fire from 3. But Furman has negated a lot of those things so far by getting up and jamming the basketball and not allowing that advance pass. And what that does, it keeps the ball on one side of the floor. If you're the Citadel, you got to get that ball in quick, look to make that pass up the floor, and then you can get your offense running. And we have a little bit of an early referee laid the ball down on the floor. We got to get this game going, baby.
Referees keeping a quick pace, just like the Paladins and the Bulldogs are. 2 of the largest 5 comeback wins in the history of the Citadel have come against Furman. Normally I would not read a jinx statistic like that, but it's an interesting one. Citadel with an offensive rebound, taken away by Bothwell. He goes to the floor. That's going to be a foul against Owen Spencer.
You get layup opportunities against Furman, you better knock them down, but you'll see he gets the offensive board, a lot going on, guys being active around the basketball. Chin that basketball. If you're not going to go back up, try to get it back out on the perimeter, because you put that ball on the floor, you can forget about it. Might have been a foul too.
Yeah.
Might have been a foul.
Slauson. Bothwell. Alex Hunter, another three-point shot. Another three-point shot knocked down. He is now only 2 behind Jordan Lyons to tie him for the most three-pointers in Furman history.
That was an excellent offensive set, and Furman continues to be active on the ball, trapping ball screens, and now getting back and putting themselves in position defensively. But everything is clicking right now. Communicating defensively, staying in front of the basketball. Look how active Jalen Slauson is out on the perimeter, and I'm not sure he touched anybody right there. Bob Ritchie imploring Slauson, hey buddy, settle down a little bit. You got a lot going on, but we'll see him hedge out on the ball screen. A little bit, not a whole lot of contact, but you stick your hands in the cookie jar every now and then, you're gonna get your wrist slapped.
Tio, what do you do if you're the Citadel right now? You couldn't even imagine a more nightmare start, already down 23. I guess the positive is there's still a lot of basketball left to play.
Well, you got to do your best to get the ball to move from side to side. Citadel's been stuck on one side of the floor. Wherever they initiate their offense, that's where the ball stays. When you go from side to side, the defense is forced to move, and that helps open up some driving lanes.
4th team foul by the Paladins. The Citadel have 4 as well.
Number 12, Brent Davis from Miramar, Florida. You'll see him down in the bottom left corner. Just come in, give the Bulldogs some good minutes, some athleticism defensively.
And Alex Hunter does not let Roach get more than about a foot away from him. Block shots. They're going to call the foul. I was going to say a rare shot clock violation against the Citadel, but the referee saw some contacts. The Bulldogs will go to the line.
And I'm a little bit shot. I thought Tyrese Huey came over and had a clean block, but we're going to have another look at it. That block's clean. This is where the foul came from. There was no contact. Zero contact, but the referee did have a bad view on the baseline. He was stuck behind the defender, but that's a tough call.
Owen Spencer with his first point of the night. Sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm going to bet he's a Bengals fan, getting excited for the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks.
If you're not a fan of Joe Burrow, there's something wrong with you.
McGeese takes it back out to Hunter. His 4th three-point shot and his 4th make. Alex Hunter 4 for 4 from behind the arc already.
Hey, we talked about, is he going to break that record before the half is over? It's a strong possibility. This is what Citadel has to do. Yes. Push that ball up, get them on the way back, make sure their defense isn't set. That's when you're going to be able to score early in the clock. And that's why they're able to get back into games so quickly.
Mike Bothwell with the jam.
Man,
goodness me.
On everybody and their mother here at the Timmons. What a move. I haven't seen that all season, Mark. What a move. Goes down the middle. Doesn't care who's in front of him. That is a man's jam, to quote my main man, John Phantom.
A quick 3 from the Citadel, and I wish we had a camera on T.O. He almost jumped as high as Mike Bothwell when Bothwell went up for that rim rocker. Furman has 39 points already at the 9-minute mark here in the first half. So with the next three-pointer made, Alex Hunter will tie the all-time record as a Furman Paladin. He'll tie Jordan Lyons' record at 288. He already has 4 on the night.
Good job, Garrett Heen, getting back in transition, getting in front and blocking the shot. Brent Davis trying to bring the energy, trying to bring some pace to this Bulldogs team. He's coming out of the game, or no, he's staying in the game right now, but number 12 doing some good things for the team in baby blue, but Garrett Heen, when he's engaged defensively, he has good length on the interior. He can get up and block some of those shots.
Heen, the sophomore from Charlotte. And the Citadel looking a little bit better on the offensive end now, T.O. We won't talk about their defensive effort so far. Great takeaway by Anderson. Paladin's out on a break. Kicks it outside to Pegues. Bothwell loses the handle. It's going to go out of bounds off of Brent Davis. Will remain Paladin basketball.
You'll see Brent Davis continuing to bring the energy, but J.P. Pegues, he had a straight line drive. One of the things coming in as a college player, you're a freshman, you want to show the coach that you do some good things. Well, he did a little bit too much on that possession. You have a straight line drive, get all the way in there, make the defense collapse, keep it simple. My high school coach used to say, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. I'm not calling him stupid, but I'm just saying, like, hey man, do things like that and then you'll be okay. Very capable three-point shooter, as long as he keeps it simple.
Furman is 9 of 12 from behind the arc in the first 12 minutes of the game.
And they're doing an excellent job of just moving the basketball and creating those opportunities for each other. You'll notice, Mark, not a whole lot of dribble in threes. Great, another great defensive possession. The activity level has given the Citadel a hard time. What a move by Moth.
Shot clock down to 5. Work the ball inside for an easy layup.
High-level pass by Moth. He's forced the issue a little bit here in the early going. He takes his time, keeps his dribble alive.
Harrison, 10 of 13. What are we watching,
This is a clinic. This is a clinic. You look a couple of games ago, Virginia Tech goes 18 to 25 against Florida State. Furman might do this in the first half.
Geese. Harrison takes it strong himself, lays it off the glass, draws the contact, goes to the ground hard. Paladins are rolling.
And he got hammered on that drive, but he should have been a little bit stronger. How about my main man, Mike Bothwell, dunking on him, his family, the coach, the entire team, up and away if you're Mike Bothwell, and Furman leads big. And Furman's up big, and it's been some offensive execution. Nice job by Furman. Turning down a ball screen. Look at Jalen Slauson. Turns around, sets the screen, and the best shooter in the game so far, Alex Hunter, has been lights out from the perimeter. He's on pace to break this record, the all-time leading three-point shot maker in Furman history, here before the half even breaks.
He needed 5 to tie Jordan Lyons at 288 career threes, and he already has 4.
Offensive clinic so far, 16 of 22 from the field is Furman. And it hasn't been anybody in particular. It's been a balanced effort. Obviously, Hunter has 4 threes. He's got 12 points, but if you look at the rest of the roster, you're looking at Bothwell with 7, Foster was 6, Slauson was 6, Garrison 6. It's a balanced attack for this Furman Paladins team.
Garrison makes 1 of 2, the grad transfer from Drury. Been playing very well of late, and the Paladins extend the lead to 27. Maynard can't get the jumper to go. Slauson gobbles it up. Slauson, another pull-up three-pointer, and knocks it down again.
I mean, I'm not really sure what you want Jalen Slauson to do differently there. Obviously, we call those no-pass jacks, but if they're going to back up inside the free throw line, you have to let him shoot it, especially when he's already 2 of 2 from the field, now 3 of 3, and now Furman's off to the races again. Offensively, the Citadel has to be able to score some baskets just to, if nothing else, make Furman play in the half court.
They do. This is where the Citadel's pace works against them a little bit, because the Paladins are chucking and making every single shot they throw up. That's 12 three-pointers already for Furman.
I'm speechless. And you want to know what makes Furman dangerous in the SoCon tournament? What would make Furman dangerous in the NCAA tournament if things were to shake out that way?
Yep.
It's the ability to shoot the 3 ball and how unselfish they are with the ball. That ball's just popping. Even Conley Garrison on that previous possession goes baseline, sees the defense collapse, and he finds Joe Anderson in the opposite corner. They have so many weapons on the perimeter.
(52-19), 6 minutes remaining here in this SoCon matchup. Paladins trying to run it to 9-2 on the season. Chattanooga and Furman putting some distance between themselves and the rest of the SoCon in the standings these days.
It's a two-horse race in the SoCon so far. UT Chattanooga obviously has some high-level talent, but I tell you what, Mark, if Furman defends at this level and they shoot it like this, obviously the shooting's going to come and go, but the defense is what's been so impressive. I was about to say. Yeah, heat check Slauson right there. But if the defense continues, #1 ranked defense in the Southern Conference, #1 steal rate in the Southern Conference, they do a lot of things defensively that make a lot of coaches really happy to watch. And if they maintain that level, that's what makes them a terrific basketball team.
Slauson coast to coast, draws a little bit of contact. I thought he was going to dunk it there for a second. Little contact going up for the shot, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Not a whole lot of resistance defensively, Mark. And if you're gonna play against Furman, it's hard because you have to get out the shooter, so you can't overhelp. But at the same time, you can't allow straight line drives. If anything, Mark, you have to keep them going one direction. If Jalen Slauson's able to enter the middle of the floor, that makes it so hard to collapse if you're the defense. But the pace they're playing with right now is absurd.
11-0 run for Furman over the last 2 minutes and change. Make that a 12-0 run. 54 points already put up by the Paladins.
Mark, all you got to say is a lot to a little, and I think it handles most of it.
That's some advanced math I'm having to do to keep up with how big the lead's getting for Furman so far.
You're a smarter man than me. Tough finish.
Jerry Higgins the third with a whoop-de-doo with a bucket.
Cleveland, Ohio native.
Anderson gives it off to Slauson for the uncontested jam, and the Paladins just, whatever they want to do on offense, they're doing right now.
You got to stop the basketball. I mean, it's easy to want to get into the weeds and explain why this happens or that happens, why these rotations are occurring. If you can't guard the basketball and you're just going to turn it over like that, or like that, or like that for that matter, it makes it really difficult to find any type of consistency within your offense.
Citadel has the possession arrow. Slauson getting a breather. Paladins go 8, really 9 deep, and I don't feel like they lose a lot when they bring substitutes into the game, T.O.
No, they don't, but where they do lose a lot is when Slauson goes on the bench, because it gets rid of your playmaking forward who can sometimes play the 5 position for you. He makes it a lot different, and he doesn't typically lose his man defensively like that just happened. That's really the only time you see a drop-off is when Jalen Slauson has to come off the floor, especially against teams obviously not named the Citadel right now. I mean, Citadel has had their moments. You can see, though, their inability to slow the game down or control the pace and not having Hayden Brown in, that's when you can kind of see, hey, man, that's why we miss this guy. That's why he was preseason SoCon Player of the Year.
3 for 3 in the corner, no good. Paladins get the offensive rebound. Hunter, three-pointer to tie the all-time record. Off the front rim, no good. Paladins don't get the putback. Off. They've been doing a great job closing out on the perimeter. And as I say it, give up the uncontested three-pointer, rattles around and does not go. But for the most part, the Citadel really struggling to get those three-pointers off.
It's been tough. Furman's only allowed 12 attempts so far from the 3, and I'd venture to guess, Mark, about 6 of them have been heavily contested. Defensively, has been impressive.
Anderson knocks down another three-pointer. He's the leading three-point percentage shooter in the SoCon. Has his second of the night, and Furman has extended the lead to 36 points. It's been all Paladins so far, 12 from behind the arc. Rolling here in Timmons Arena. We talked about three-pointers in the opening, T.O. We didn't think we'd see this many from Furman.
Oh, they've been terrific. 13 made threes so far, and one thing you do see, when they're able to knock them down, that's got to be a top 10 nominee. That floor opens right up, and Mike Bothwell will take advantage. Put it in a top 10. Please, ESPN.
He wears number 3, so we'll count that in the three-point package. Or maybe we should just show that coming out of every break for the rest of the game. Definitely the highlight so far. Paladins first in the country in three-point field goals made, and they've added 13 to that. Nobody's catching them tonight or making up any ground.
Well, let me say this. That's the happiest I've seen Bob Ritchie all year, and it's pretty easy to see why, but terrific three-point shooting team. They take a lot of them. Let's not kid ourselves. But at the same time, 9th in the country in three-point shooting percentage, and it's because they have so many different guys that are lethal from beyond the arc, of course.
Citadel now 3 of 13 from behind the arc, really struggling. Hunter into the lane. So the all-time three-point record in a game for Furman is 22. I actually called that game earlier this season against North Greenville, T.O. Paladins have 13, so that is within reach.
Well, there's certainly going to be opportunities because Citadel, they're not guarding very well. So here's what you can't do if you're Furman. That last possession, Mike Bothwell takes a between-the-legs step-back jumper. You've gotten your shots, and you've gotten shots for your teammates by that ball moving and working for you and then attacking the basket. If you start settling for some one-on-one shots like that, things are going to stall a little bit. So if you're Furman, you're going to emphasize continued ball movement, continued activity on the perimeter.
Maynard can't get the three to go. The Paladins lead the Southern Conference in assists on baskets with 18 a game. They already have 16 in this game.
It's a bit of an awkward move by Marcus Foster. Nonetheless, just another guy that can initiate your break. Nobody picked up the basketball. Marcus Foster gets downhill, stays patient, able to draw the foul. Clark, like you said, one of the leading shot blockers in the conference. A little bit too much body on the interior there.
He is the leader, 53 on the season. Front end missed. And again, if you're just tuning in, Hayden Brown, best player on the Citadel's roster, 3rd in the SoCon in scoring and in rebounding, missing the ball game tonight. And the Bulldogs have really struggled without him.
Yeah, a deep thigh contusion is what we were told. Happened in the first 10 minutes of their game against UT Chattanooga. Tried to play, couldn't continue through the pain, but you know what I blame, Mark, more than anything? I blame the short shorts. I blame the short shorts. If he has longer shorts on, we don't have to worry about such things happening.
Well, that material would have absorbed some of the...
Well, if he would have worn his pants, too, I think that also helps.
There we go. There's a nice three-pointer for the Bulldogs.
Rudy Fitzgibbons from right outside of Atlanta, north side of Atlanta, Riverwood Charter. Not typically a basketball factory. There's a lot in Atlanta, but nice drive by Heen. Might have gotten away with a lot of contact there. But
looked like Roach got him.
Strong move by Clark. But going back to Fitzgibbons, I mean, Atlanta obviously chock full of talent. Furman has their share of players from the Atlanta area too. It's just, you know, Riverwood not one of those Norcross school or something like that to where they have guys every season, but obviously Citadel got a good one. Fitzgibbons, or Fitzgibbons, yeah.
McGeese turns it over. That one went off of his leg. Just the 2nd turnover for the Paladins in the first half. Almost a flawless first half of play on both ends of the floor for Furman.
And the biggest challenge going into the second half, Fitzgibbons with another one, feeling himself a little bit. It's a couple in a row for the Atlanta product. But here's where a challenge is if you're Furman. You're going to have to carry some of this momentum into the second half. I know the lead's big. You got to come out thinking, hey, it's 0-0. A little high ball screen action, maybe a little replace. You'll see Heen come up. We'll have a one-on-one situation, and Pegues will fire one up too. Why not? Why not?
14th three-pointer of the first half for Furman. And that score is correct. Paladins up 63-31.
And it has been from all over the floor, a balanced attack, but it just seems to be one after another. 3-ball after 3-ball, led off by that man, Alex Hunter. But the ball is moving and the shots are falling, and Bothwell is jamming. Furman's up a ton. We'll see you here after the break.
And senior leadership, and both of those teams have them.
That are small and quick and can defend at a high level. And whenever you have a guy like Jalen Slauson, he could be that great equalizer if you were to play a power conference team with a big 5-man because of his defensive ability.
Foster backing down Roach. What a fantastic move for the bucket.
It's strange to see because you kind of expect the Citadel to maybe double the post, but they're playing one-on-one defense the entire time, and there hasn't been a ton of resistance. And the only guy that's been giving them a really good lift has been that guy who got the offensive rebound, Fitzgibbons. And he could shoot it.
Yep, Roach can absolutely fill it up. He has another three-pointer knocked down. One of the few bright spots for the Bulldogs so far.
The Berkeley, California native, obviously he's a few threes away from being the all-time freshman leader at the Citadel in three-pointers made, but again, just another layup. Another layup by Furman. Not a whole lot of defensive intensity on the other end for the Citadel.
Both teams love to run and gun. The Citadel's been running and gunning, just not making a lot of shots tonight. An uncharacteristic poor shooting night for them so far, to go with probably their worst defensive performance of the season. Bothwell shuffled his feet. That'll be a turnover for the Paladins, just number 3 on the game.
It's just a little bit of resistance results in a turnover. I mean, you swarm to the ball, you try to make them make the extra pass, stay in front, don't let them get a layup, and good things can happen. Obviously, when Furman shoots the ball the way they have here in this game, like, it makes it a lot more difficult. At the same time, some kind of defensive effort has to be put forth.
What is success in the second half for each one of these teams, T.O.? You're down 32 at the half. How do you define closing the game out on a good note? And then also on the Furman side, you've got a 32-point lead. How do you define a successful second half?
Well, if you're the Citadel, you're trying to get out and get back to enforcing your tempo. It seems like because Furman has been able to jam the basketball, Citadel hasn't been able to get out and run and play the way they like to play. Defensively, you have to put forth a better effort. Offensively, you need to be able to get out and run. But if you're Furman, you're not going to hit 14 threes every half you play.
No.
I mean, that's simply put, that's just not going to happen. What is going to be able to carry you is the defensive end. You have to maintain that intensity going in, and you can't have any drop-offs, because I promise you, Coach Ritchie's not going to let a couple of drop-offs happen, especially coming into next practice. So you have to at least, if you don't hit shots, maintain that intensity, and you at least have to get hit.
Look at Roach tried to draw the foul. Now they call a flop on him. Foster gets an easy layup. Let's see, is this a flop here?
I don't know what that was.
He gave up the basket and got one from the ref as well for the flop. Turn around in the lane, late whistle. Looks like that'll go against Foster.
A couple of the students not happy. At least you see them being a little bit more aggressive to the cup. Marcus Foster, obviously, number 5 there in your picture. Just developed into an excellent basketball player for Furman. But Mr. Maynard, Utah native.
A transfer from Colgate. Misses the front end. He hasn't missed much from the line this season. Almost an 89% foul shooter. Takes his time, knocks the second one down.
Only the 4th and 5th free, or excuse me, the 4th and 5th free throws for the Citadel. Look for them to try to be a little bit more aggressive towards the basket.
It's Lawson with a heck of a move for the layup. How do you stop that?
Need to try a little harder. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, Lawson is supremely talented, sure, but you know, at least put your chest on him and make it difficult. Don't let him change directions.
Moff tries to kick it outside. It's going to be Furman basketball. Moff arguing that the Paladins got a hand on that one. The refs did not agree.
I think they actually did get a hand on it. That might have been a missed call. I think it should have been the Citadel's basketball, but Moff getting downhill and creating some action. I mean, that's what you need to do if you're the Citadel moving forward. Create some action, create some help, and then you'll be able to find some open shots. They just haven't been able to generate any open looks.
Anderson.
Look how fast the ball moves from side to side. I mean, that's textbook, and that's 5 if he would have been able to knock it in. I mean, that was third side offense. And the ball keeps moving, you get an offensive rebound, you give yourself extra opportunities. And Garrett Heen, who is able to do those things for you. And when I say third side offense, I mean swing the ball to the left side, right side, back to the left, and then the defense is forced to move. Citadel hasn't been able to generate those kinds of actions.
Paladin is just putting on a clinic on the offensive end. That's 15 3-pointers. The all-time school record in a game happened earlier this season against North Greenville when the Paladins had 22 3-pointers. Still well within reach, especially as much as Citadel likes to push the tempo. Hunter gonna go coast to coast all by himself. Gets the layup, he's up to 14. Paladins growing the lead now, over 40.
The activity on the backside, you're going to see a little bit late on the closeout. Nice shot by Citadel. Now you're off to the races again.
Heen takes it inside, gets in a little bit of trouble. Great lead pass to Jalen Slauson for the jam. Slauson's up to 17, 6 of 8 from the field.
That might be the first miscommunication I've seen this half.
And it's all Paladins. Started the half with a 32-point lead and have stretched that even higher on the back of 15 3-point shots already. Furman is rolling in Timmons Arena.
Reason for it, that ball just continues to move for the Paladins. You're going to see, goes on the first side offense, second side, ball moves quick. You see it, no opportunity for him. Ball movement is at a premium. And even though Alex Hunter doesn't make this shot, it still gets the defense moving. And what happens, players get sucked in, you get an offensive rebound, and Garrett Heen can finish it off. It's the fact of the matter, Mark, that Furman has so many guys that can knock down that perimeter shot. When that ball's moving, it's so difficult to guard.
Hit him with the Heen. That was his first bucket on the game. 3-pointer for him. We come back with Stephen Clark on the line, rattles it home. Clark had a career high 20. He's played his 2 best games of the season against Chattanooga. Had 22 in the first matchup against them. Had a double-double against Chattanooga over the weekend.
And look, he's a skilled player. It's just the difference between tonight's game and the games where he's able to block a lot of shots, Mark, is whenever he's blocking shots in other games, he's coming over on the help side. Tonight, Furman has attacked him directly, taken away his legs, his ability to get up in the air to block those shots, and it's presented problems for him.
Anderson kicks it out to Huey. Huey works it inside. Tries to scoop one off the backboard. No good. Bulldogs come down with it. Knocked away.
12 Davis had a really nice first half from an energy perspective. Kind of gave the Citadel a boost with his effort defensively. But I'll tell you what, Roach, it doesn't matter what the score is. He's come on, that's his 4th, I do believe, from 3. Doesn't need a whole lot of space. He's got pretty good size, about 6'5", 6'6", a little bit slender, but he doesn't need a whole lot of time. Excuse me, that is his 3rd 3-point shot. I must have got him confused with a teammate, but it doesn't take a whole lot of time to get that shot off, especially he doesn't elevate a lot. So his feet don't necessarily have to be perfectly set, and that could be an advantage.
Roach really showing out as a freshman. His first game in his career with the Citadel, T.O., against Pitt. He goes for 27 in the upset of Pitt earlier this season. And obviously the Citadel missing their best player tonight.
Big time, just such a physical force. I mean, he was SoCon preseason player of the year for a reason. It's because he just does a little bit of everything for this team. That's a nice sweatshirt too. That baby blue. That's not terrible. I need to try to talk to Duger, see if I can get one of those.
The jersey swap afterwards. You give up your sport coat and maybe get one of those sweatshirts.
I'd almost be willing, but Hayden Brown's a terrific basketball player, and you can see where he's missed tonight because the Bulldogs in the half court have struggled to really break down a defense and create anything. And that's a good call. Heen can't fall before the guy gets there, right? You got to take it to the chest, but. He presents a lot of problems and mismatches for other teams because he plays the 5 position, even though he's undersized, only about 6'5", 6'6", 230 pounds he's listed at, but he's able to play the 5 position because of his physical strength, and since he can handle the ball and initiate offense, he really opens up things for the Bulldogs and Coach Malcolm. And today you can see, like, Furman is really good defensively, sure, but they're having a hard time, the Bulldogs are having a hard time getting past the first line of defense, period.
Try to work it inside, turn around. Good defense by Heen. Paladins on the run out. Turnover of their own. Here come the Bulldogs. Pull up three-pointer. Knocked down. A really nice shot there by the freshman, Brock Wakefield. I'm impressed with the three freshmen for the Citadel. They got something to build on.
Well, they're bringing some energy for sure. And obviously coming down towards the end of the regular season and conference tournament, you're hoping to have Hayden Brown back healthy. But this is a game where you could bring some of those freshmen in, gain some confidence as Big East knocks down a tough. Well, you want to talk about freshmen, the Nashville native, he's a freshman. This is a good game for him to, Wakefield in particular, number 10, to gain some confidence. And that could only help moving forward. This is one of those games that you can do that.
Fires the three, gets a Terrence Oglesby roll on that one.
They call that the members bounce. You have it at you have it at golf courses. Sometimes you have it, you put the work in. What is it, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And that's a flush and off a nice pass by Joe Anderson. Garrett Heen starting to get a little bit more comfortable on the offensive end.
Yeah, he's got 7 here in the second half. Paladins keep that lead at 40.
That's another good defensive possession by J.P. Pegues. Furman's athleticism at their guard spots make it difficult. Can't go under screens.
Anderson, the three-pointer and the foul. Why not? We've had a three-pointer of every possible type from Furman tonight. How about a possible 4-point play? Furman now up to 16 threes on the night.
Come on, you can't go underneath the ball screen on Joe Anderson. He counts them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. He shoots the best percentage in the SoCon. Of course he's going to be able to count them for you after that play. If you go underneath the screen, he's got the green light. 4 of 4. He's 4 of 4 from 3. He's 0 for 1 from the free throw line. Maybe we need to try to figure some things out here.
Davis loses his footing. The Paladins have another possession. Yeah, Anderson, like you said, leading the SoCon in three-point percentage. 4 of 4 tonight. That'll only help. That may put him up over the, let's see, he's now 34 of 66. So he's up over the 50% mark now from behind the arc this season. Long three-pointer off the front iron.
But Jalen Pugh finally checks into the ball game, doesn't waste any time.
He's gotten into the ball game. Also the freshman Alex Williams in the game. Having some fun. All smiles for Furman at every phase. Here comes James. Repass into the game. So Furman unloading the bench right now. Look at that big grin on Bob Ritchie's face. If I could coach my guys to 16 threes every game, I'd be smiling a lot too.
It sounds like we're going to go to a media right away.
We will. It's been all Paladins. They're closing in on the 100-point mark and only a couple of three-pointers away from the all-time record at Furman. We'll see if that falls as we close this one out in Timmins. A historic shooting night for the Furman Paladins, and looks like it's going to be another one in the win column for Bob Ritchie.
Yeah, another one in the win column for a guy who's gotten an awful lot of wins during his time here, and you see what he preaches is coming to fruition tonight. Ball movement, high-quality defense, team defense, not just on the ball, but the guys behind the guy guarding the basketball has been excellent. Now we're going to get an opportunity to see some of the younger players that are in the fold. One guy coming up setting the ball screen, repass, freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. Has some pretty big time size. Still kind of figuring out his game, but not a bad passer. Kind of developing into being the college player that they need here at Furman.
Shot clock running down, repass. Can't get it to go. Good rebound by the Bulldogs.
It's Fitzgibbons. He's been kind of the lightning rod for the Citadel so far. And the guy that's kind of been able to create some things. Nice pass.
Long three-pointer. In and out, no good. It's going to be off of Anderson, out of bounds. Citadel 9 of 24 from behind the arc. Actually 9 of 25 now with that miss. 36%, not all that bad from behind the arc. It's just Furman is shooting the lights out of this gym. There is a basket right there by Stephen Clark.
That's where repass is going to have to get better. Obviously in the SoCon, you're going to face a lot of men that are bit more. Going to have to find that sweet spot, not getting too close, but at the same time not getting too far away to where you're going to give up some threes. Clark obviously has the ability to put the ball on the floor and do some things that way, facing the basket. Repass, that's going to be hugely important for him moving forward in his college career.
Repass has only played 27 minutes and change on the season, so a big night for him as he'll log maybe half that more than likely between now and the end of the game. Working again inside against Clark. Shoots over him. No good. Rebound by the Citadel. You're going up against a good one there with Stephen Clark.
He's got such good length, and going right back to Clark, you see where Repass needs to be able to recover quickly because he has the ability to shoot from deep. Look, and here's the thing too. You're giving Bob Ritchie some ammunition right now. Defensively, and here we come. All the guys popping back in. We got 4 out of the 5 starters about to come back in the basketball game. And obviously, you come in, you have to take care of the little things. If you're Furman, you better box out, you better rotate defensively, and you better contest shots. Citadel leaving their guys in as you see mass substitutions come in for Furman. Number 5, Maynard. I mean, he's one of the guys, the Colgate transfer, as you said. He can put some points on the board, and it makes it difficult for young guys to come in and get some of these older guys at times.
Maynard knocks it down from the line. One thing to keep your eye on is that man right there. With his next three-pointer, he would tie Jordan Lyons for the most three-pointers made in Furman history. Foster just bullies his way inside. Can't get the basket to go. Citadel basketball. Foster's really strong working the ball into the paint. We've seen him do that 3 or 4 times this game already.
Well, he's got such broad shoulders, and whenever he gets his shoulders on guys' hip, it makes it really hard to recover. And as you can see, Citadel can move the basketball. They can make some shots. I mean, let's not deceive ourselves here. Like, they can make shots. You still have to maintain that activity level off the ball, because if that ball gets moving for the Bulldogs, they can manufacture some threes and start to get a little bit sloppy. And I promise you, Coach Ritchie is going to break some of these things down. Nice job recovering defensively. It looks like they're getting back to being active on the basketball. It's a senior-laden team. Maybe they're able to generate some of their own energy when it comes to that. Another defensive stop.
Garrison tries to whip one into Slauson, and another turnover for Furman. Bob Ritchie right in front of us, not happy with that one at all. So, like you said, they played great so far, but there'll be some interesting moments in the film room tomorrow when they review some of this. Alaman's leading in every category that we could probably put up here tonight. Citadel chipping away at this lead. They're on an 8-0 run over the last minute and a half. Getting inside to Clark. Back outside, wide open three-pointer, knocked down, and the Citadel's on a nice 11-0 run now.
And that's tough. You'd lose track of the guy you're guarding. Bothwell turns his head, looks down into the post. Citadel does a nice job continuing to move. And obviously, Furman's going to be able to do that whenever they want to. You got to be able to slow down some momentum, but defensively, can't lose track of the basketball. Citadel, when they get the ball in the paint, they can find guys, and they never stop moving. That's incredibly important. And Engler obviously has enough range. He can step out to that corner and knock down threes.
Furman now has 6 players in double digits. Bothwell, Foster, Hunter, Slauson, Geese, and Anderson. Lead at 35. Paladins' most points on the season so far. They had 118 in their opener this year against North Greenville. Hunter thought about the three, takes it inside, draws the contact, gets it to go.
On. Alex Hunter with the big time take. And look, who is he? 4 or 5 from 3, 4 for 3, something like that. Look, he comes up on the break. They have to respect that jump shot. A little hesitation between the legs. Nice move. No wasted movement. And a tough finish by Alex Hunter. He's really developed. I mean, last year he was a piece, kind of an extra guy that was there. this season, he's developed into one of the big three for Furman. Shoots terrific percentages, can really score the ball with volume. 16 points. Better knock your free throws down, no big fella. But 4 3-pointers made, and because he knocks down those threes, that's how he's able to get downhill and create some paint touches.
He's 4th in the country in 3-pointers made and 4th in the country in 3-pointers attempted. 4 for 6 on the night tonight. Slauson with an easy rebound. The Paladins are shooting a little over 66% from the line. They're also shooting a little over 66% from behind the arc. What a great pass from Slauson. Garrison can't get it to go. Slauson will be giving him grief about that. He was wide open. Clark works it inside.
Nice move. Nice move. Nice move by Clark. Hesitates, gets to the middle, draws a foul on Marcus Foster Jr. Furman just has to hang on. Shouldn't be that hard. We'll be back right after the break.
Welcome back in. It's all Paladins, and a lot of it has to do with that man right there, Bob Ritchie. You see these SoCon records since he joined the Furman as the Furman head coach back in the 2017-2018 season, right at the top.
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrific record. Highest win percentage in the league. You see Citadel down at the bottom. They've had their moments, but that's enough to make Josh Mosley cringe. It's been tough going for the Citadel, and you know, it is what it is though. Citadel's a hard place to recruit. I mean, we're going to make this about Bob, sure, but Citadel's a hard place to recruit. You're having to take a lot of kids that are going to do some military things. There's a lot of other obligations on campus that you're going to need to do, and it makes it hard to convince young kids to do that type of thing. Now, Furman has their own set of challenges. Joe Anderson knocks out a tough floater in the lane, but high academic institution obviously makes it hard to just take anybody. Bob Ritchie's alluded to that.
Another turnover for the Citadel. Anderson out on the break.
Good decision. Good decision by the freshman. You don't have numbers. Take your time. Back it out. Run some offense. You're getting whatever you want anyway. Ball keeps moving from side to side. Garrett Heen, he'll knock one down.
Rattles in and out for Heen. Roach fires another 3 and makes another 3. Man, I really like Jason Roach. He's fun to watch.
Quick trigger. He gets it off quick, has his feet set, hands are always ready. Young man can shoot the basketball.
I mentioned in the pregame he was 7 3-pointers away from the freshman record at the Citadel for most threes in a season. He's got 4 on the night already. He's going to break that record pretty soon.
Nice player. Nice player. Doesn't overdo it. There's a lot of young players that come in as freshmen. They think, well, I got to prove I can put the ball on the floor. I got to prove that I can pass the ball.
Yeah.
Roach knows what he's there to do. So he's going to knock down shots.
Hugh fires the 3 and misses. Furman closing in on the century mark. Get up in the air with the basketball and look for a home on a pass, and it doesn't turn out well very long. Anderson breaking some ankles, bringing the ball up. Pugh inside.
If I'm Joe Anderson, I'm getting on Jalen Pugh. You got to shoot that ball.
Roach,
forget about it. He can shoot it. He can shoot it, Mark. Mr. Roach doesn't need a whole lot of time, that's for sure. He's going to fire it from deep.
Yeah, he's near the top of the conference. He had 73 made threes coming into this game. He adds 5 on top of that. The man he's chasing is Alex Hunter, who had 78 coming into this game and has 4.
Roach hits 2 more. He ties the all-time Bulldog record for threes made as a freshman. Nice block. And that's a perfect example of why Clark leads the SoCon in blocks. He comes over from the help side. I don't know if we have a replay of that or not, but whenever you drive directly at him, you're taking away his legs. But if he's coming over on help side, Clark can really get his legs underneath him and challenge at the rim as opposed to challenging with his chest.
Out to Pegues, 3 on the shot clock, fires the long 3-pointer. Suddenly gone ice cold from behind the arc. Furman up 31.
Nice pass.
It was great defense. Hugh comes over and gets the block. Anderson, he's 1 point away from his career high. 15 versus Mercer earlier this season. He has 14. Heen kicks it back out to Pugh, fakes the three-pointer, stops in the lane.
And that's fine, Look, Pugh gets in there, doesn't have any options, just get the ball back out. You've been able to generate what you want to get done, and he's rewarded for it. Got to be able to knock it down, though. Offense just keeps moving, even when you don't have something, because Furman plays off 2 feet whenever they get into the pace. They don't leave the floor. They could still find ways to save themselves, so to speak, in a possession. Nice cut.
Easy bucket, gets the lead under 30. Paladins haven't scored in about 3 minutes. They're 1 of their last 8 from the field. So cooling off after being white hot for the first 30 minutes or so of this game. Pugh rattles it home. Next basket will put Furman over 100 on the night. Clark, Roach.
Another one. Forget about it, man. That's 6 tonight. He's going to set the record tonight, Mark. His team's going to lose, but he's going to end up with 8 threes tonight. Terrific performance
Really
by Mr.
impressive.
Roach. Really impressive. Oh, wow. That was a lot of contact.
Fletcher Aby had 80 three-pointers as a freshman at the Citadel, and Roach now has 79, so he might get there. And the Citadel keeps that pace going, man. Starting to make this thing a little bit more respectable as we get late. McGeese to Heen, saves it back to Clark.
Game's getting
Looking
sloppy.
for Roach right here.
Game's getting sloppy. This is when the Citadel can score. And then I take it back.
McGeese on the break. Jams at home, and Furman hits the century mark.
That'll be a done for the Furman Paladins. An offensive clinic tonight. I don't know how to say it any differently than that, Mark. And they haven't shot it well in the second half like we spoke about. I mean, only 2 threes here in the second half after a first half in which they just torched everybody. Another one for Roach. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Oh, goodness.
What are we talking about? That's 7 of them for the young man. Ties the single season record for a freshman as a Bulldog. Terrific performance from him. Trying to battle his Bulldogs back. Mr. Roach, don't do it to him. Look at it. Comes off, good footwork, sets himself up. Got to give him room to land. Hell of a shot by Mr. Roach. Jason Roach has been that guy, kind of keeping things interesting here today, but with that three-pointer now tied for the Citadel freshman record for three-pointers made in a year. We thought there was an off chance that he'd be able to tie it tonight, but 7 three-pointers for this young man from Berkeley, California. Comes coast to coast. California all the way to South Carolina. Nice performance by him, quite frankly. Comes up, doesn't need a whole lot of time, sets his feet. A lot to like about this young man. Quick trigger, can shoot the ball. He's good size, 6'5". Needs to stay right where he is. Excellent shooter from deep.
Also a great foul shooter, over 90% from the line on the season. He leads the Southern Conference in minutes per game. He may get a couple more three-pointers. He needs a heat check right now. He needs a Terrence Oglesby 30-foot heat check coming up in a minute.
Well, it's too bad because they just subbed him out, but he that's a nice pass. Offense just continues to work for itself. But Jason Roach breaks ties Fletcher Aby for the all-time freshman record in three-pointers made.
Good defense by the Paladins as they try to put a bow on this one. Anderson over to Foster. Works off the screen. Dewey. Look the ball around. Three-pointer won't go for Alex Williams. It will remain Furman basketball.
Alex Williams making one of his first appearances in the game, number 24. Walking towards the free throw line, actually out to the corner, just has the ball. Kind of an instant offense guy, the Ohio native, coming down to Furman. Played a little bit early in the season, hasn't been able to crack the rotation here in conference play, but big body, can shoot the ball, does some nice things.
First three-point miss of the night for Joe Anderson. Furman gets the third look here on this long possession. Foster tries to whip it inside to Williams, comes out away with it, can't get it to go, out of bounds again. Furman will get a fourth look at it on this possession. Furman's going to move to 9-2 on the season in Southern Conference play. Next up for the Paladins, they'll play downtown in Greenville at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena against UNC Greensboro on Saturday. Citadel hosts Samford this weekend. Bulldogs are really good at home. That'll be a good ball game. Mister can't get it to go, goes out of bounds. Bulldog basketball.
Bulldogs versus Bulldogs, right?
It is.
Samford and the Citadel. Look, Samford's got some players, simply put, but 2 excellent games coming back. Coach Mike Jones, who comes from Radford, ends up at UNCG. Yep. Got his guys playing the right way, trying to get his culture implemented after Wes Miller departed from there to Cincinnati. I thought he could have gotten the North Carolina job, quite frankly, but they went a different direction. 2 quality games, and obviously Wofford trying to get some revenge on Furman after Furman took them to the woodshed, beat them by about 25 at their place. Be interesting to see how that game transpires. Both games at the Well. Great venue that Furman gets to play at, and NCAA tournament venue this year.
Yep. Got my tickets to that one already. Looking forward to those games. A foul against the Paladins. That's going to go against Robert Swanson.
Man, they shouldn't call fouls on Swanson. What are they doing? My man, Robert Swanson. We need Swanson to get a bucket. Like, enough is enough. We need Robert Swanson to get a bucket.
He's not scored this season. He needs one.
Get my man loose.
Upcoming schedule for the Citadel. Got Samford at UNCG, and then that big CBS Sports game, the CBS Sports Network against VMI. Service Academy on Service Academy.
Coach Duger used to coach at VMI.
Yeah.
Now Dan Earl's there. He does a terrific job. They got a young man named Jake Stevens, 6'10", about 260 pounds, can really play. Can't jump over a phone book, but he does everything else really well. He passes the ball well, shoots good percentages from 3. Really, really nice player. Yeah. Somebody you can orchestrate an offense around.
I believe he's been Southern Conference Player of the Week 3 times already this season.
Deservedly so.
Yes.
I mean, what averages? He's leading scorer in the conference, I believe,
yeah.
at above
he
20.
And Malachi Smith just kind of handed back and forth.
That's right.
Free throw made. All right, so T.O.'s put it out there. Get Robert Swanson the basketball and get him on the board tonight. Senior from Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach's finest. Get my man loose over there. Funny, they played a game the other week. I look over at him. They're up 20 or something. And he's over there. He's loosening his arm up the whole time. He's ready to go. There's about 8 minutes left in the game. Furman's up 20. He's over there stretching.
Ready to gun it.
Got to get my man a bucket.
Put me in, coach.
He might be one of the most likable guys on the team. Comes in, works hard, deserves to come in and be on the floor, provides a lot of value to this Furman team. A lot of guys like Swan, like, they don't get enough credit, Mark. Yep. They're there every single day. They're there on scout team. You know, those 10th, 11th, 12th guys, they deserve. I mean, they deserve to be a part of this, and they deserve all the credit. They bring the energy on the bench. Get these guys some love.
Well, they're all being rewarded with playing time, and this one, Paladins were up 32 at the half. That lead got as high as 43 points. Citadel has rebounded here late in the game and chipped away. Make it a little bit more respectable in the box score.
I know right now Swanson has more fouls than shot attempts, and that needs to change immediately, Childress.
Yeah, you don't like that stat line where the only stat that you
I love the
fouls.
kid. I love the kid. I'm giving him a hard time, obviously. I love the kid.
Rhett Lister's coming into the game as well. He does not have a bucket on the season either, T.O. So we got 2 guys on score watch right here for probably the last possession of the game for Furman.
We're going to get at least one possession to shoot it. You can't turn it over. You got to find something for everybody, but we'll see what happens. A little high ball screen. Let Joe Anderson just figure it out like he's so good at doing. Well, can't do that.
Great defensive play by the Bulldogs. They go coast to coast and get the layup. That trims the lead down under 20. Furman technically doesn't have to shoot again. Let's see what they do with it here. Swanson trying to work it in. They're saying no shot. They shoot anyway. Don't get the three-pointer to fall. Citadel's got a few more seconds to see if they can put some points on the board before this one's over.
What a performance all around by Furman. Look, first half, you shoot the ball at an incredible rate, 14 threes in the first. Don't shoot it that way in the second. Bob Ritchie has to be happy, especially with the first half. His guys really shared the basketball, knocked down shots, and defensively they were active. There's obviously some things that you're going to have to correct, especially in the second half. Energy comes off a little bit, but this is a big-time win and a big-time performance by a Furman team that when they're cooking offensively, they are special. Mr. Childress.
Yep. Furman's going to move to 9-2 in conference play on the season. Look at all the three-pointers made by the Paladins tonight. 16 of them on the game, 14 of them in the first half.
And typically there's a player of the game. It seems like everybody has been that good. But led off by Mr. Hunter, who ties the all-time record for threes made in a Furman uniform. Fantastic performance by him. Hoping to get Coach Bob Ritchie come here. He can summarize it for you if we can get him.
All right.